Cindy used her looks to seduce my boyfriend, but what she didn't know was, every time she tried to seduce him, she'd become uglier while I became more beautiful. A year later, Cindy, now really unattractive, begged for my forgiveness and wanted to give my boyfriend back. By then, I was the most beautiful star online, and my husband was the most handsome actor. What were they? Just plain folks. I was at the office, holding a tablet, watching Cindy and my boyfriend betray me in my own home. They were kissing passionately like no one else was there, totally outrageous. What romantic drama are you watching during work hours? My boss, Michael, suddenly showed up. It's just my home surveillance, I replied. Michael's expression went from anger to sympathy in a heartbeat. Cindy was a real beauty. When I was a kid, she set a fire that scarred 30% of my body and left a terrifying scar on my face. I had to wear a mask all the time. My mom tried to confront her, but her family just said Cindy was too young and asked us to let it go. Growing up, Cindy used her looks to steal my boyfriend. That's when I realized George, my boyfriend, was only with me for my money. He even promised Cindy that once he got my money, he'd be with her. Just when I was on the verge of giving up and considered ending it all, I somehow got linked to a beauty system. The system said from that point on, every time Cindy tried to attract my boyfriend, her looks would decrease while mine would improve. Want a day off to catch them in the act? Michael suggested, but I had no intention, and I found it amusing. If they didn't do their thing, how'd I get prettier? Just recently, my beauty score went up by 10 points, while Cindy's dropped. After their lovey-dovey session, Charles noticed something. Cindy, what's wrong with your nose? Cindy's nostrils were so tilted you could hang clothes on them. My implants broken. She adjusted her nostrils in the mirror, looking more pig-like, and I almost burst out laughing. When I got home, Cindy had already left. Charles acted cool and asked me for money. Linda, I need $5,000 for the company dinner tonight. Tonight? But tomorrow's my birthday. He whined, can't help it, it's mandatory. I'll make it up to you when I'm back. Okay. His cheesy stance almost made me puke. You going alone? He quickly dodged eye contact with co-workers. His face might as well have been a billboard for suspicious. I pretended to believe him. All right, work's important, but I'm short on cash lately. Can you cover it first? I'll pay you back when you're back. He seemed relieved and didn't push further, dragging his luggage and leaving quickly. I knew he went to see Cindy. Not even 5 minutes later, my beauty score began to rise. Congrats, you've gained 1 beauty point. Cindy lost 1 point. The system chimed in. Just 1 point meant they only met up. Sure enough, from the window, I saw a figure in the passenger seat of Charles's car. I bought him that car, using the money I saved for my skin graft surgery, which he sweet-talked his way into, and now it's a sneaky date tool for them. Later, Bella spammed me with messages. I checked, and it was screenshots of Cindy's Twitter selfies. He always shows up whenever I need him, she captioned, snuggling into a man's arms, exposing just his neck. But the necklace he wore was a dead giveaway. I gave that to Charles. I tried to view Cindy's Twitter, but found she had blocked me. Bella asked, that's Charles, right? Bella went on a rant. What trash is Cindy? Openly flirting with your man. And this Charles, really no shame. They are scum and deserve the worst. I chuckled listening to her rant, but quickly stopped. Still got the guts to share location. Let's go bust them, Bella urged. No, while my skin had healed, the scar on my face hadn't. Catching them now wouldn't be worth much. Bella thought I still had feelings for Charles. They're like this and you can still hold back. Linda, even lovesick fools don't stoop that low. I'm going solo. Things might get intense with you there, I said. Charles had some nerve, even going live at this hour. He used a different account, thinking I wouldn't know, but thanks to Bella's search skills, as sharp as the FBI's, I did. During his live stream, he wore the necklace I gave him. On his neck, some red marks barely visible, caught by his fans. Are those hickeys? They asked. You must have a really pretty girlfriend, another commented. Charles smirked. Yeah, she's beautiful. Obliviously, he wasn't talking about me, but given how often he sees her, her looks won't last much longer. It's a shame the system only knocks the beauty off the other woman. Why spare the cheaters? Well, I'll handle it. Thanks to them, by nightfall, my beauty went up another 20 points. I took off the mask, the ugly scar on my face shrinking, showing smooth, flawless skin. I was thrilled. Over 20 years, I suffered discrimination because of the burn scars. Even cosmetic surgeons hesitated to take my case. Now, I could finally heal. Cindy suffered too. A nose gone awry for losing 10 beauty points. Wonder which part goes next. The next day, I found out. Bella was impulsive. So to stop her from impulsively confronting Cindy, I secretly went to where Cindy was. No wonder she had such a great figure. Turns out she had work done. And now, they're noticeably uneven and lopsided. She argued with her plastic surgeon, and Charles showed up a bit later. What's got you all riled up? Cindy turned away, avoiding his gaze. Charles, I'm not feeling well. Can you talk to your company about delaying the lead female role casting? Charles seemed irritated. Are you serious? I've already talked to my boss. Cindy looked uneasy. Without until a solution, Charles's boss, James, showed up. Charles, is this your girlfriend? Charles skillfully wrapped his arm around Cindy's waist, quite proud. Yeah, she's my girlfriend. James glanced at Cindy, his expression moved from astonishment to shock. Her face is pretty nice, but that body. Charles didn't catch James' drift, still beaming with pride. She's got a great body too. This is great. James forcefully turned Cindy around to face Charles. Seeing her unmanaged look, Charles turned pale. What's going on? Cindy turned even greener. I don't know. I woke up like this. I knew. You should have asked me. Hurry and find something to cover up. The big star will be here to pick someone soon. Charles was so mad his veins popped, trying to walk away with Cindy. I quickly got in their way, one hand over my mouth, the other pointing at their intertwined fingers, squeezing out a couple of tears. Charles, Cindy, how could you? Charles looked horrified when he saw me. He immediately dropped Cindy's hand. Linda, don't get me wrong. It's just their company is also having an event at this hotel. Pure coincidence, just a coincidence. Cindy clearly wasn't pleased with his explanation, but had no choice, considering I was the one who paid for her cosmetic surgery. Okay, to be precise, Charles asked me for the money and then passed it to her. I can't get that money back, but I can take back her beauty after the surgery. I pushed up my mask, pretending to be heartbroken. Is that really the case? But I heard someone say she's your girlfriend. You misheard. Charles got a bit impatient, gave Cindy a look, and tried to leave. Can I let them walk away that easily? I rushed over to demand an explanation. I also saw you were holding Cindy's waist. Charles seemed in a hurry, pushing me aside. I told you, it was just a coincidence. Stop making trouble. I held on to him firmly until a cheer erupted from behind us. The star Lucas appeared, following the crowd. Charles' boss probably informed them earlier, so his manager Nick guided him towards Cindy. As Nick led him, he was introducing Cindy. She's got the best looks among the actresses, definitely worthy to star with you. Lucas glanced at her, his voice cold. Really? Of course. Is this what getting crushed by reality feels like? Cindy was socially dead on the spot, too embarrassed to lift her head. Charles tried to explain. She just recovered from a big illness recently. Might be some after effects. She'll recover soon. Nick, those are some strong after effects. I almost laughed like an engine starting, but luckily had the mask on. Cindy cast her eyes towards Lucas, even flashed him a flirtatious look, seemingly trying to catch his attention. But hey, the great star isn't as easy to entrap as Charles. Lucas didn't even glance their way. Instead, he looked at me. Nice eyes. Take off the mask. Hearing the request to take off the mask, Cindy panicked before I even had a chance. Her face got burned, left a big scar. Lucas, don't make her take off the mask. Lucas ignored her, turned his head aside, and asked Nick, did you smell that? Nick, smell what? Lucas, a whiff of tea. Cindy's face turned crimson instantly. Lucas clearly lost interest in her and simply walked away. After he left, Cindy instead vented her anger at me. Are you here to steal my lead actress role on purpose? Dressed like that? I'm indecent. I'm wearing a t-shirt in the summer. Is that a problem? You're indecent. Your short skirt barely covering anything. With all you've got on, the lead's yours for sure. You, Cindy whimpered and launched herself into Charles' arms. Charles, look at her. Charles glared at me viciously. Linda, why is your mouth so vicious? Cindy just helped save your face, and you're smearing her like this. Do you even deserve to be her cousin? I was so mad I laughed. You call that saving face? She was clearly afraid I'd steal her lead role, deliberately airing out my disfigurement. Sorry, but I'm fine now. All the scars on my face are gone. Maybe I'm not drop-dead gorgeous, but at least I can hold my own against your surgery queen. I was about to take off the mask and show them when Charles grabbed my hand. Don't take it off. I don't want my colleagues knowing my girlfriend's a monster. I was furious, really furious. Today, you act all cold. Tomorrow, you'll be begging me on your knees. Fine, let's see who's the real monster then. I put on the mask and turned to leave, hopping on a nearby shuttle bus. Let's go. The bus didn't move, and I even heard some mocking laughter, as if teasing my face. The inferiority complex that's been bugging me for ages hit me like a tidal wave, made it hard to breathe. I didn't want to hide anymore. I decided to have a big reconciliation with my own face, yanked off the mask. Had a good look. If not, give me an address. I'll mail my face to you. The laughter in the bus stopped abruptly, so silent it was scary. Only then did I notice the shuttle bus was a bit strange. Then a man's voice reached my ears. "It's her." As soon as he spoke, a group of people surrounded me, brought me to a closed-off area, and started changing my clothes. In less than 10 minutes, my t-shirt was swapped for a high-fashion gown, and I had perfectly done makeup, just like a leading lady in a drama. As I was lost in the reflection of myself, a familiar voice came from behind. "Not bad, can star with me." After the crowd dispersed, I saw Lucas in the back seat. This was no shuttle bus. It was clearly Lucas's mobile home. So, it turns out he disguised the van as a minibus to dodge fans, and parked it at a station to throw people off. What a clever trick. You really need some random genius to come up with that. His buddy Nick snapped a few pics for me. Looks are on point, but unfortunately lacks formal training, so his acting might be questionable. Lucas, her vibe was pretty good just now. Is he that supportive? Isn't Lucas supposed to be a cool, distant movie star? The rumors don't match reality. This show is just a low-budget web series, but the director is someone who once helped him a lot. The web series is called My Drama Queen Wife. Lucas plays a wealthy, aloof heir who has no feelings for the female lead, but is forced to marry her due to family pressure. And the female lead, she acts like she's madly in love with him, while secretly cursing him. Only when he gets the power to read minds, does he realize his crying and whining wife is actually a master in verbal sparring. No wonder he said my vibe was good. Who would have thought I'd get this role after cursing someone out? Nick obviously isn't so sure about Lucas's seemingly rash decision. Can she, a nobody, handle the acting? Speaking of acting, once upon a time, I dreamed of becoming an actress. As a kid, I signed up for drama class with a neighborhood boy, always acing it. But thanks to Cindy's fire, my looks were ruined, along with my dream. He says if she struggles, he'll teach her. With Lucas's persistence, Nick brought out the contract. The initial payment was set at $50,000, with more to come from future work. Plus, during the show's promotion, they'd guarantee 2 trending posts a month. He didn't even ask my opinion, just told me to sign. Everything went too smoothly, almost scary smooth. After I signed, Lucas flashed a rare smile and said, "A really nice name." That's the second time someone complimented my name. The first was before Cindy burned my face, from a boy next door. Once the contract was signed, a photographer snapped a few pictures. Nick handed me his phone. "First trending post of the month is ready, take a look." People in the showbiz move fast, and my latest Facebook post shot to the top 3 in trending. It even sparked a very juicy hashtag. Lucas made an announcement. Fans nearly flipped, thinking Lucas announced a relationship with some actress, only to find out he was announcing the female lead in the web series. Thankfully, I'm a newbie with no competition, so the comments were mostly positive. At this point, my system started frantically boosting my appearance score. In no time, I gained 30 points in looks, my skin tone lightened, and Cindy got a matching 30-point deduction. I checked my surveillance, and saw Cindy in my room. In the morning, Cindy was so peeved she begged Charles to let her stay overnight at my apartment. I told Charles the first wasn't coming home tonight, so he blatantly brought Cindy right into my room. Charles was cuddling Cindy, scrolling through his phone. The casting result is out. Cindy, lying on my bed, snuggled up, said, "Why talk about this now when Charles is here? It's definitely me." Nope. Charles showed Cindy his phone. Her eyes widened. Who is she? How dare she snatch my role? With full makeup, they don't recognize me. Charles called his boss to pass on this. They said you're too ugly to match Lucas. What? With a loud bang, Cindy exploded with rage, and her implants flew 2 meters and stuck to the wall, impossible to pull off. Those 30 points were harsh. Nick peeked over my shoulder. "How come a young girl like you is watching this? Pretty intense stuff." I closed my tablet. "No, it's actually surveillance of my bedroom." Nick, obviously worldly, quickly changed the subject. "Those 2 look familiar." "Of course, I just saw them this morning." I smiled, keeping quiet since it's a family affair, nothing to broadcast. Nick checked his phone. "They're asking why we didn't choose their artist." Hilarious. "Lucas, what did you tell them?" "Nick, I recommended them a plastic surgeon." The best sarcasm is often the simplest reply. Nick asked, "Want a ride back home?" Going home now might mean a huge confrontation. My hesitation didn't escape Lucas. He instructed Nick, "Go to the hotel, get her a room." Lucas had his assistant book me a room, right next to his. With makeup on, no one can tell, but once I removed it, I saw my face brightened again. Everything was just right. Smart beauty filter system. At 2 a.m., the doorbell rang. It was Lucas. He seemed fresh from a shower, with droplets clinging to his hair. He handed me the script. "Tomorrow, I'll take you to meet Larry. Be ready. I instinctively replied, but I didn't bring an extra mask. He looked at me for a long time, as if trying to see right through my face. It's fine, you're great as is. My first meeting with Larry made me anxious, nervous about my performance. At the set, it was unexpectedly lively. Larry, didn't we agree the lead role was for my artist? You can't just switch it up. I invested 50 million. Someone was stirring up trouble with Larry. Behind him were Charles and Cindy. Larry, no use complaining to me. Lucas picked her. What do you mean it's useless? You're the director. Why fear an actor? Lucas dislikes being controlled by big money. His only demand was to choose his own co-star. K Entertainment had spent a fortune trying to boost Cindy's career, and wouldn't give up easily. Cindy sulkily leaned towards Larry. We had a deal, didn't we, Larry? Can you truly cast me aside? Larry shivered. The promotional pics are already out. Cindy rolled her eyes. She's not that pretty. Why did Lucas choose her? There must be a secret deal. Lucas, uninfluenced by controversies, remained calm and composed as he led me to meet Larry. Wearing my mask as usual, only my eyes were visible. My appearance instantly escalated the tension in the room, which was already palpable. Especially for Cindy, whose eyes were wide with disbelief. Linda, is that really you? She seemed unsure, staring at me for a long time. Wait, could it be? I didn't answer, but Lucas beside me was a dead giveaway. Wow, can't believe you could look so stunning with just makeup. You must have used a ton of concealer. I thought you were some random nobody. Didn't expect a traitor from within. Charles chimed in for her. Linda, come on, you're the older sister here. Why are you taking Cindy's stuff? Give it back. These two really let me down. I didn't want to make a scene in public. It would hurt my reputation, but my silence only made Cindy more pissed. She blocked my path with a vengeance. Larry, she said, do you know why my cousin wears a mask? Those hateful eyes, paired with a mocking laugh, focused on me. She had an accident as a kid, half her face burned. It's hideous. Are you sure you want her as the lead? Larry's eyes shifted when he looked at me. Don't believe me. Cindy, her pretty face now twisted with malice, rushed over and yanked off my mask, yelling to the crowd, hey, everyone, check it out. A monster playing the lead. The set went silent. Then, a murmur of surprise spread. Cindy turned, confused, to see my clear, unscarred face. I smiled and approached her slowly. If I'm a monster, then what are you? Cindy was shocked, shaking her head repeatedly. No way, that's impossible. Did you put on makeup? There's no way those scars are gone. She was right. The extensive burns I suffered couldn't be repaired even by the best plastic surgeons, and it would cost a fortune. Without a beauty filter, I'd be living under Cindy's shadow my entire life. Cindy didn't believe my face was truly healed. She rubbed at where my scars were, trying to reveal any ugly traces. But no matter how hard she tried, my face didn't budge. It only blushed naturally, looking even more radiant. Even Charles, who earlier sided with Cindy, stared at me with a complex, envious look. Linda, your face is better. I used to feel unworthy of Charles, indulging him in every way. Now, I faced him confidently, surprised. Charles thought I was still the love-struck girl. He tried to hug me, but I pushed him away and slapped him hard. Clutching his cheek, he looked baffled. Linda, why'd you hit me? I sneered, because you shocked me even more. While I was away, you knew exactly what you and Cindy were up to. I initially didn't plan to expose them, but they went too far, so I wasn't about to let their dirty deeds slide. Charles tried to deny it. What are you talking about? Cindy and I haven't done anything. But his guilty eyes betrayed him, despite his words. As more people voiced doubts, Cindy denied fiercely, even trying to turn the tables. Linda, you can't just dump accusations on me. I've always seen Charles as a brother. He treats you so well. How can you demean him here? Charles grabbed my hand. We're all family. Let's not make a scene. Family? Did you think we were family while sneaking around behind my back? Sorry, I'm not some saint, ready to wallow in misery for others. Do you really think I'm accusing you without evidence? I pulled out my phone and showed the surveillance footage. The image filled the screen, minus the audio, a small mercy. Charles was immediately subdued, too scared to utter a word. Cindy, backed by capital, was furious and tried to strike me. Her hand swung down toward my face, but Nick appeared, grasping Cindy's wrist and twisting it away. She cried in pain. Luca's voice rang coldly. She's under our management. Think about the consequences before you act. Luca's stance flipped the situation. No one expected him to defend a newbie so boldly. This wasn't just between Cindy and me anymore. Her boss was forced to respond. Lucas, I know you're a big star, but you can't disrupt the set for your talent like this. If you've chosen your lead, maybe I should reconsider my $5 million investment. That was a clear threat, a money game. Hearing the potential withdrawal, Larry almost panicked. Cindy smirked, feeling emboldened again. It was clear. This industry doesn't care about fairness, only power. I tugged on Lucas' sleeve. Forget it. This is my family issue. I can handle it. Without even looking back, Lucas showed me how to handle injustice in showbiz. Whatever they pull out, I'll match it. With those words, Larry stopped freaking out. The producer's eyes widened. Lucas, you can't be serious. I know you earn a lot, but is Star Entertainment backing you up for a newbie? Check who the biggest shareholder of Star Entertainment is. The boss's face changed as he verified Lucas' claim, quickly changing his tune. The slap echoed across the set. Apologize to me. Cindy held her face in disbelief, shocked she'd been hit by one of her own. Larry wasn't showing any kindness, sternly barking, apologize to Lucas. What? She stammered. I said, apologize to Lucas. Lucas gave me a shove. She didn't do anything to me. No need to apologize to me. Yeah, she should apologize to Linda. Larry chimed in, eagerly nodding. He quickly turned and gave Cindy a kick. Hurry up. Without her sugar daddy's protection, Cindy had no choice but to bow her head to me. Linda, it was my fault. I was wrong. Please forgive me. The apology was all technique, no heart. The trashy girl got her punishment, but we can't forget about the deadbeat guy. Cindy may not have felt genuine remorse, but at least she apologized. Meanwhile, Charles was crouched behind a woman the whole time, looking as pathetic as can be. I glanced past Cindy and pulled Charles aside. Charles, I've got some good news for you. His eyes lit up with a glimmer of hope. Linda, if you forgive me, I'll be good to you. We can get married by the end of the year. He tried to intertwine his fingers with mine, but I shook him off without hesitation. What are you thinking? Not much skill, but plenty of dreams. Charles was confused. You said you had good news. With a cold laugh, I replied, the good news is, I'm breaking up with you. From now on, you and Cindy can openly be together. No more sneaking around. Charles was speechless, stunned. It seemed he thought I was hopelessly devoted to him, never imagining I'd be so ruthless. Oh, and please move out of my apartment and return my car. I'll send you a list of any other money you owe me. I turned on my heel and left, making sure they got a good view of my confident departure. With these two as cautionary tales, everyone on the set treated me with a lot more respect. Even Larry managed a friendly face. Linda, I know you're emotionally charged right now. Just try not to bring any negative emotions to work. We're about to start the first scene. Are you ready? I nodded. Sure. They were just a chapter in my life story. Only a career can make a woman truly stand firm. However, standing firm doesn't come easy. I just couldn't get into the first scene, especially playing a girl who's sweet on the outside, but curses you on the inside. It clashed so much with my own personality. That's when Lucas came over. Didn't my help deserve some kind of gratitude? Thank you, it's all thanks to you, you're the best. I showered him with gratitude, but he seemed unsatisfied. That's it. Too basic, he said. But to be fair, I didn't have much to offer him. What do you want? As long as it's within my capabilities. Alrighty then. Lucas suddenly used his imposing frame to pin me against the wall. A sly grin crossed his lips. I want you. Why did the aloof superstar turn greasy all of a sudden? Don't scare me now. If he hadn't helped me fend off Cindy, I'd have gladly introduced his face to my size 7 shoe. And to top it off, faced with Lucas's nearly harassing jokes, I had to swallow my pride and anger. After all, he's my director now, and I did agree to his help just a moment ago. As I fought through my irritation, Lucas casually backed off, dropping his smile and returning to his enigmatic self. Are you in character now? Oh, so he was pretending to be greasy on purpose to help me immerse myself. With Lucas's assistance, I finally grasped the duality the female lead felt, pulling off the scene successfully. Back at the hotel, I washed off my makeup before realizing a potential issue. Now that I've broken up with Charles and is officially with Cindy, does that mean my beauty system still functions? Despite the marks on my face being erased, there were still some marks elsewhere. Just as I pondered, the system provided an answer. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking up with the cheater. Beauty increased by 39 points. Cindy's lost 39 points. System upgrade, now offering beauty and corresponding punishment options. The system opened up a list of exchanges with various point values for each. There were only a few beauty options. Worried about becoming too stunning too quickly, I opted for the scar removal skill. But the penalty options were plentiful, ranging from double eyelid stitching to inner corner cracking and wrinkle growth. One punishment particularly caught my eye, but blast, exchange value 5 points. What is that supposed to be? An exploding butt? Too bad they're out of my house. They'll miss the fun. At 2 a.m., right as I was drifting off, my phone buzzed with a message from Bella. Awake yet? If not, go watch Charles' backup live stream. It's hilarious. Come on, get up. It's late, but this is must-see material. It's over now. Here's the replay link. Watch and you'll thank me. I clicked the link Bella sent. It was Charles's backup streaming replay. The title read, "Introducing my girlfriend. Already flaunting the affair right after our breakup. What a scumbag." Cindy finally showed face, showered with compliments thanks to the beauty effects in the live chat. 5 minutes in and I was ready to bail until, finally, the anticipated comedy unfolded. The stream was punctuated by frequent fut sounds. It started with several minutes between, then escalated to a dozen times a minute, the noise so loud it drowned out the background music. Even Charles couldn't avoid pinching his nose, while Cindy clutched her stomach in pain. I think I figured out what that but blast penalty is. A virtual live stream steeped in fart aroma. Surprisingly, the fans were counting 300 times in just half an hour. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was New Year. The fans weren't interested in watching anymore, just debating who was letting them rip. Charles was speechless, as Cindy's emissions had literally made him retch. With the streaming series airing, my popularity was on the rise. Curiously, despite working alongside such a famous actor like Lucas, online reviews were all positive toward me, hardly a hater in sight. Just scrolling through my second hot search topic of the month, I spotted a trending tag. "See you Friday." My gut told me there's some juicy gossip here. So, following the rule that you gotta catch gossip early, I clicked on it. It was a blogger claiming they would drop a huge bombshell on Friday, with a cryptic teaser to make it even more mysterious. The teaser mentioned a new rising starlet in the acting world, who supposedly had a fling with a big-time company exec. It went on about how she kicked out the original actress, and suddenly became the lead in a hit series. They even painted a vivid picture of the scandal between the starlet and the exec. At first, I was just there for the drama, watching people guess who the parties involved might be. But the more I read, the more it seemed off. A new starlet, bumping someone out, starring in a hit show. This had to be me, right? The blogger hyped it up, promising they'd unveil the truth live on Friday, and swore it was real. This got the whole internet buzzing. I mean, if someone's bold enough to go live and spill the beans, it must be a big deal. The blogger didn't reveal their identity, but based on how they talked and their clear disdain for the starlet, I had a pretty good idea who it was. On Friday, I was all set in the live stream, and sure enough, tens of thousands joined in. My suspicion got confirmed when the blogger showed up live. Yep, it was Cindy. She was all covered up with a mask and sunglasses, trying to hide, but I recognized her instantly. Under pressure from the viewers, she finally started talking. She said she was there to expose the lead actress of the web series, my drama queen wife, Linda. Linda, never heard of her. Isn't she the chick playing Lucas's wife? Cindy claimed she was supposed to be the original lead, but got dumped for me when Larry swooped in. Later, she investigated and found out I got cozy with the head of Star Entertainment, spent 7 nights with him and paid her to keep quiet. Linda's not only doing the casting couch thing, but also had plastic surgery. She even had pictures to prove it. She then blasted a photo across the stream, a face burned badly, only the forehead recognizable. That was my selfie post-burn, meant for my plastic surgeon. Couldn't believe she'd use it to frame me for going under the knife. Gross, I freaked out. My skin is crawling just thinking about it. Linda looked like that. That face is horrific. No wonder she had work done. A cosmetic surgery freak doing casting couch stuff. Nasty. Poor Lucas, stuck with someone like that. The comments were brutal, all taking shots at me. What hurt the most was seeing that picture, the one that reminded me of my scars. Every glimpse brought back the burn's pain, leaving me itching all over. Thankfully, it's all in the past now. As Cindy kept on, the chat got nastier and filthier. Cindy even played the victim, fake crying crocodile tears. Said she got sidelined because Linda was prettier. The comments backed her up. Don't say that, girl. You're way prettier than a surgery addict. You can tell she's a beauty, even with the mask and glasses. Cindy acted all coy. Really, I'm not very confident. The chat hyped her up like she was a goddess, until one comment popped up and made me snap. With an attitude like that, no wonder she got burned. Too bad she didn't finish the job. You know what? That fire you're talking about, the angel you're praising is the one who started it. I called on my beauty system. Can I create my own punishment? Yes, but once used, the punishment system will end. Are you sure you want to go ahead? Absolutely. Alright. Punishment applied. Right then, Cindy, trying to drum up more buzz, slowly took off her mask. Everyone wanted to see her face, but when she did, silence fell over the chat, because what they saw was a burned face. The stream was quiet for 3 seconds before it blew up. Burned too. Wait, who's who now? Her face is ruined like that. She was the original lead. I'm lost. Someone explain this. The viewers exploded, livestream numbers skyrocketing to 8 million in no time as more gossip hunters jumped in. More people dug into the backstory, gradually outing Cindy's real identity. Someone claiming to know the truth spilled what happened that day on set. The final takeaway: Cindy couldn't stand me getting the lead, so she staged this smear campaign. She faked sympathy with the Burns, but ended up exposed by online sleuths. The tide rapidly turned against Cindy. She was speechless under the barrage of insults. But that wasn't all. A new scar mysteriously appeared on her face. When she saw her reflection, she went nuts, screamed, and killed the stream. That's the kind of punishment I had for her. Cindy, welcome to the hell I've lived for over 20 years. After the stream, my name shot to the top of trending topics. I thought maybe the company had boosted me with some extra buys, but nope. It was all from clips of the stream circling online. From a mere 800,000, the topic blew up in the millions. Thanks to Cindy, I made a surprise appearance, gaining lots of praise. Whenever negative comments popped up, they got squashed fast. This backfired so hard on Cindy, with losses all around. The buzz even gave the web series a boost in views. The company jumped on the hype and set up a press conference. Despite my recent rise in popularity, I was nothing compared to Lucas, the leading actor. During the event, things revolved mainly around Lucas. I felt invisible. It got awkward, with the host trying to direct attention to the other actors. Someone then called out my name. Linda, there are rumors you used the casting couch to get here. Any comment? I was speechless. All the questions for Lucas had been about acting, but for me, the tone changed so fast. That's not true at all. Then how did you land the gig with Lucas? Everyone knows you were a nobody before this. Aren't they basically still implying I slept my way to the top? But I just don't know how to explain it. This whole thing is so strange. Even I still can't figure out why Lucas chose me. The pointed questions kept coming. There are rumors about you having an inappropriate relationship with a shareholder from Star Entertainment. Is that true? I was at a loss when Lucas stepped in front of me. Linda is my artist. If there's an issue, take it up with me. At that moment, he seemed like a god to me. The reporters felt awkward, but didn't want to disrespect Lucas. Their aggressive tone softened a bit. It said that Lucas helped Linda a lot, even resolving a controversy online for her. Is that true? Turns out it was him. I always wondered why things turned around so quickly that day. Lucas was helping behind the scenes. Lucas straightforwardly said, yes. I quietly asked him, why didn't you tell me? He kept it cool. No need. The reporters noticed our brief interaction and ran with it. You two seem quite close. Can you tell us why you chose a newcomer to partner with? That's a bold move. It sounds like a compliment, but it could be a trap. Lucas, being the seasoned actor he is, handled it smoothly. I never choose based on status. I see if they're right for the role. Linda has real talent. That statement caused a stir in the room. Lucas is known for being reserved, and has never praised anyone before. His praise was like silently having my back. Almost like he wrote "Don't mess with her" on his face. Even I couldn't help but wonder, why is he so good to me? After the press conference, I half joked, Lucas, why are you so good to me? Do you actually like me? I expected a sarcastic reply, but he was surprisingly calm. You don't remember? That one understated sentence left me uneasy. Am I supposed to remember something? I wanted to ask what he meant, but just as I reached the door, the fans outside rushed in. I got pushed to the side, and Lucas was looking around for me in the crowd. Suddenly, I saw a familiar, terrifying face. It was Cindy. She rushed toward me, holding a knife. I wanted to move, but the crowd trapped me. There was no escape. You ruined me, go to hell. The knife headed straight for me as I instinctively backed up, crashing into a solid arm. The next second, Lucas was in front of me, and the knife stabbed into him. I froze. It was like time stood still. I wanted to help, but couldn't do anything. Fans screamed as they realized Lucas was hurt. Chaos erupted. Nick rushed over to help Lucas into a car, racing to the hospital. In the car, tears streamed down my face as I asked, Lucas, why are you so good to me? I'm just an ordinary person. Where are you ordinary? He managed a smile. It was the first time I saw his genuine smile, mixed with his blood, tearing at my heart. Linda, your name is beautiful. Linda, forget about me. We'll be burned to death if we don't run. Cindy's after me. I can't drag you down. Let me carry you out. Trust me. Linda, my dad's taking me abroad. You need to get better. Don't forget me. I'm sorry, I forgot about you. Lucky you didn't. Hospital, disinfectant, surgical lights. Everything felt so familiar and so horrific. 20 years ago, Lucas's prayers helped me pull through a crisis. Now, 20 years later, I hope my prayers can help him. I waited for what seemed forever, until the surgery light finally went off. The doctor said, Luckily the knife missed any vital organs, which is why Lucas survived. I breathed a sigh of relief, regretting not recognizing him sooner, but his sculpted, stoic face is hard to match with that smiling boy from my childhood. When we were kids, Lucas and I played together often, which Cindy was jealous of, always getting between us. That day Lucas gave me a woven grass necklace. Cindy snapped, burned it, and threatened to burn me. To protect me, Lucas stood up to Cindy, who then set the whole place on fire. I could have escaped, but I got burned trying to save Lucas. When I got to the hospital room, he was on the bed, smiling like he used to. Remember now? Yeah, you okay? Compared to you, this is nothing. I touched his wound and blew on it like when we were kids. Does it hurt? He shook his head and repeated my old words. As long as you're okay. Something deep within stirred. No wonder he remembers me. I'd never forget either. Somehow, I leaned in close. We were just a centimeter apart when Nick's voice interrupted. We caught her. You two continue. In the van, Cindy, handcuffed, slumped on the floor, dirty and defeated. Nick said, got her out, but gotta take her back soon. Handle this quickly. Then he left, giving space. The moment Cindy saw me, she tried lunging at my neck, but the cuffs stopped her. You ruined me, and now you're thriving. Why don't you just die? You're just a scarred freak. I'm prettier and better at everything. You took everything from me. I stayed calm, which made her laugh creepily. Is Lucas dead? No longer calm. I slapped her hard. You're not worthy to speak his name. Cindy's face was swollen. She glared hatefully. I tilted her chin, pointing to her surgically altered face. Every feature, I paid for. I'm just taking back what's mine. Linda, she cried. Every time you flirted with Charles, your looks faded while I thrived. So thanks. Stunned and in disbelief, she finally broke, pleading tearfully. I know I was wrong. It was Charles. He made me do it. Can you return my looks? I sneered. Speaking of Charles, heard he botched a surgery recently, lost his job, owes me money, and might even go to jail. Seriously, Cindy, watch your back. Cindy was shocked, eyes filled with fear. Was it you behind Charles? Why only punish the woman? The man deserves it too. Moreover, I merely reclaimed what was mine. I left her to wonder, leaving her terrified. She'd never dare another surgery. 3 years later, Lucas's announcement topped the trending searches. This time it wasn't for a new show. It was the real deal. Time kept us apart, but also brought us back together. Now, I'll never let go of you. The picture showed 2 hands with rings. The comment section went wild, crashing the servers. Half an hour later, Linda Saved the Galaxy was the second top trend. Everyone said I must have saved the galaxy in a past life to marry Lucas in this one. Lucas responded, actually, the one who saved the galaxy was me.